We're talking about a brand that sold, 26 million handsets in the first half of this year. It's putting them on a par with the likes of LG and Lenovo right now. We're looking at a pretty potent force in China, aren't we?
For the Chinese market, certainly. And not the main reason why I think Xiaomi is particularly interesting is not just because they've sold a lot of units, is because if you actually look at what people do with their devices, if you look at things like content consumption and media consumption, people are actually using their devices to the same degree that people are actually using the iPhone in China. And that really means that in terms of cracking the Chinese market, Xiaomi is starting to move really in the right direction.
So basically this is that they get the strategy of management right now and it's content driven. They understand the need for an ecosystem in the same way that Apple does.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is the whole problem. If you look at Android devices in general, Android's got something like 70% market share of the total smartphone market. And if you take out Samsung, everybody else is sort of struggling along with commodity-like margins. Now, it's long been my view that in order to sort of get round that problem and try and add some value back to the user, you need to do much more in the ecosystem. You need to do more content, services, email, chat, all that kind of stuff. And that, if you look at where Xiaomi is going and where Apple went with the iPhone in 2007, Xiaomi is going exactly the same direction in China. So from the Chinese part of the market, if they can really create user traction to their product, then they should be able to make some money. And I suspect at the moment they're probably losing quite a lot.
That's an interesting point. They're great at media consumption, as you just pointed out, but are they capable of diversifying into other digital segments and taking on the likes of Tencent, of Alibaba in the market too?
Yeah, see, that's the real trick, isn't it? I mean, they've got the content, they've got the media, but that's actually the easier part of the ecosystem. And if they want to broaden out and offer a much richer and deeper experience to the user, they're going to have to take on the likes of Baidu, Tencent, Alibaba, and all these guys are also trying to develop their own ecosystems in the Chinese market. Now, when I've looked at the Chinese market, overall, I reckon it's probably big enough for 3 large ecosystems to exist on its own, which means at the moment, Xiaomi's got momentum, the company's got opportunity, but now it's really going to have to step up to compete with the really big guys if it wants to be a sustainable force in the Chinese smartphone market long term.